wonder why when some people take action, they win, and when others just sit on the sidelines, they never end up starting anything? A lot of times it's because they overanalyze and they get caught up with analysis paralysis. And this is something that most people will struggle with in life, whether it comes to relationships, business, friendships, understanding other people. But mostly, what I want to talk about today is just kind of taking action and not worrying about the rest. I come across a lot of people that reach out to me that ask me, hey, how do I get started? What do I do? But when I tell them what to do, a lot of them do the opposite. They start overanalyzing things. They start questioning me. They start questioning my process, and they start asking me about paperwork, about this, about this, about that. They start asking me about future things that haven't even happened yet. Yet they still have yet to speak to a seller, get a seller interested, send out an offer letter, and then connect with one of our closers. And so I want to bring up a person. This person came into my live, my Zoom live 2 weeks ago, and it was a Morby Zoom. And just like every 2 weeks, I do my Morby Zooms, and I teach people, hey, this is how we bought this property, zero money down, and this is how we got it done. And these are the exact steps I'm showing you so you can go ahead and do it yourself. And so there's a bunch of people in the Zooms. You got your people asking a lot of questions, overanalyzing things. And then there was one person, her name was Anna. And Anna was just sitting there quietly. I think she was maybe taking down some mental notes, some physical notes. And she did ask me just a couple of general questions. Anna is a mother. She's also a wife. She also works, and she just wanted to find out, hey, how can I get my foot in the door with this real estate thing? Like, what can I do? And Anna took action, took imperfect action. Now, the funny thing is what Anna did was she didn't do what I was saying to do, which is go on Zillow or Redfin or anything. Anna thought outside the box a little bit more. She went on Facebook groups and started calling people that were already open to the idea of seller financing. And Anna, a week later, contacts me, says, hey, I have this deal. They're open to seller financing. So what do? I put her in touch with my why am I in airplane mode here? That's weird. I put her in touch with one of my closers. And now Anna, we almost have my closer called with Anna, the realtor and the seller. They sent over a letter of interest. They replied. They counter. Of course, they're going to counter. It went from, a super high rate that they were, this imaginary rate that these sellers have in their mind that they think that they should receive, down to a reasonable rate that we can pay and still cash flow the property. Property is in North Carolina, nice area, and we're almost at the point of getting a contract signed. Now, why am I telling you guys this? I'm telling you this is because Anna was very inconspicuous. Anna wasn't the type of person that you would think that would get a deal that fast, or at least a deal that's almost under contract that fast. You would think that maybe a more extroverted individual that's loud, asking a lot of questions would get the deal. But it was Anna. It was Anna paying attention, listening, And she ended up working with one of my closers, going on a conference call, learning a lot from that conference call. Obviously, learning how the whole mechanics of the deal works and how to negotiate properly and how to speak to sellers and how to be empathetic with sellers and so on and so on. And so it's funny because even in my mortgage company, when I had this person, her name was Joyce. And Joyce she was from Asian descent. She did have an accent as well, but it didn't stop her. And she was one of my best reverse mortgage loan officers, believe it or not. And she wasn't, if you meet her, she's not like crazy at sales or, anything like that. But there was just something about Joyce that attracted people to her. And whatever it was, it's in each and every one of you. You just don't know it yet. People resonate with people for whatever reason it is, whether they like how softly you speak to them, whether they like your tonality, whether they like that they hear your empathy towards them, or that you're actually genuinely interested in them, in their stories, in their situation. Maybe they like your voice. Maybe they prefer that you're a woman or a man. There's just so many variables why a seller would choose one person over the other or a customer. And so you kind of have to find out what it is about you that makes you special, and that makes you be the person that you are on the other side of that phone, that makes that other person feel comfortable speaking with you, opening up to you about their financial situation and asking you for help. And I think that is something that a lot of us struggle with because a lot of us have imposter syndrome when it comes to, especially, coming into a brand new business. A lot of us do have imposter syndrome, but I can tell you that a lot of times it doesn't go away because you're always evolving and trying new things. But in the end, you got to understand that you got to kind of go back and say, oh, well, you know what? I get this. Like, I understand this. I've helped people, I'm not an imposter anymore. Like, I have proof. I have actual credibility in what I am doing. And so I am so proud of, and here's the other caveat here. So I had another Zoom yesterday, and guess who the only person was to show up? Anna. Out of all the people that were coming to my Zooms, asking all these questions, how to do this, how to do that, do this, do this, Anna showed up to my Zoom. We talked about her deal. I asked her how she found the deal, which she clearly explained, which you guys can use. She just went on Facebook groups. And now Anna's coming to our event today in Schaumburg, Illinois, that we're having. It's a suburb in Chicago. It's a sub 2 event. That we do welcome people that are not in sub 2 as well. But if you have nothing to do, or if maybe your spouse or your partner, can take care of the kids, or maybe you guys can cut out dinner today and come out to the event and be with us, meet some new people, meet some people that are doing probably what you want to do, possibly meet some potential future partners that you might work with, do deals with. I highly encourage you to come out. It is from 6 to 8 o'clock. Spend 2 hours with us. I just got a clear to close on a property we're buying in Phoenix, Arizona. I'll be breaking that down. It's going to be a co-living property, which we're very excited about. Same concept, zero money down on that one as well. And we are going to be also doing speed business networking. So if you guys don't know what that is, basically it's like speed dating, but you're speed business networking. So I don't know if anybody does that or if it's around yet or not, but that is something that I have started doing. And one of my friends that comes to my events, he told me that last speed business networking, he was able to find a solution to his problem. How cool is that? That one of my events brought a solution to his problem, which now he with solving that problem, finding that solution, multiplied it to solving two additional problems and opening up his capital so he can invest it in other places. So those are the kind of things that are going to be happening at these sub two events in Schaumburg, Illinois. So whether you're a buyer, a connector, a private money lender, a realtor, a business owner, a student, a life insurance agent, a contractor. We always need contractors for flipping, right? So if you guys are interested in coming out, it's totally free. It's on eventbrite.com, or you can go to my Instagram stories, which is creative_Mike, and you can go ahead and sign up. We do have a capacity. I think we have like 10 seats left only. I don't do big events. I try to make them small and very intimate. So if you guys are still wanting to come to an event, I think we have like 10 more seats left. So if you haven't grabbed your ticket, feel free to grab your ticket on Eventbrite. Just search Sub 2 Creative Finance with Kreative Mike. And we'll also be talking about creative funding, which creative funding with a K, you're going to be able to find money for your wholesale deals, or if you're going to be double closing, or if you're going to be buying Morby methods, we'll be able to help you structure those and help you provide funding for those. And if you are looking for debt service coverage ratio loans, which is investment loans, maybe you want to do a fix and flip, or maybe you want to do a fix and keep, so fix to rent. Maybe you're doing ground up construction and you're trying your hands at development, or you're already an experienced developer. Or maybe you're just looking for some gap funding, meaning somebody just to bring in a little bit of cash to help you purchase a property and be in second lien position. We can also assist you with that, and that is actually going to be through our through creativelending.com with a K. So it's creativelending.com. And we'll be discussing that as well, because what you want to have is you want to have these resources at your disposal. So when you have something, it's like, okay, I am going to contact Creative Mike and his team, and I'm going to work with them. And also what's nice too is we are accepting people to join our sales JV team. And our sales JV team is people working with us, bringing us deals, but us doing everything for you, from contracts to transaction coordination, to getting the attorney, to stopping an auction, to doing everything and anything to make sure the transaction goes smoothly and goes through, to finding a buyer, to potentially buying the deal ourselves. There's a lot of things that go into be working with us and being on the sales JV team. So if you're a person that really wants to learn and you're not greedy, right? Because you're gonna be sharing the pie, especially when you're new, with our team, because our team is going to be the one that's basically going to facilitate the whole transaction with you. Shoot me a DM with your email, and I'll add you over to our sales JV team list, and then we can get started working together. I already have a couple people that are sending us deals. We have some under contract, And Anna is one of those people that that might have a deal under contract very shortly. So very excited for Anna. Um, other than that, guys, I mean, there's really I got a bunch of work today. But one thing that I just want to leave with you is a couple of things is when you wake up in the morning and you're stressed out, a lot of the times is because you're avoiding the work that has to be done, or you're delaying it, or you don't have the proper processes and systems in place. Or maybe you're at a point where you're like, okay, I'm wearing all these hats, and maybe I need to hire a virtual assistant or maybe an executive assistant to help me out. Because I'll tell you that a lot of these petty tasks that you're doing as a business owner is not worth your time, and you should be focused on money making activities and having those other tasks being delegated to other individuals. Now, keep in mind, they're not going to be doing as great of a job as you are because they're not the owner of the company. They're not going to treat your company like they're the owner. And you shouldn't expect them to either. It's not fair to them. So, if they're like 70, 80% of what you expect them to be, that's gold. I mean, gold. They're going to make mistakes, this and that. But if they're at least that ratio, then they are golden. They're a golden goose. You got to keep them. You got to make sure you do everything you can to keep them. And so that's kind of what we're learning is the entire delegation process. I have some tasks right now that I'm putting SOPs in so I can remove them from my daily agenda and give them to some people that are able to complete them. So I guess my other thing is, if you want to be possibly like working with me, I guess I'm open to certain things. I think I'm getting to a point where maybe I might need an executive assistant. I don't know. It's one of those things where I have virtual assistants and they're fantastic, but I think a lot of times it's like my email, my calendar just really bogs me up with a lot of things and dates and such for our deals and just getting our disposition process ready for just being very, very smooth and ready and very efficient, like just like gears turning the right way the whole entire time. And oh yeah, we just got the appraisal on our Philly deal came in higher than the purchase price. Our debt service coverage ratio is over a 1. It's like 1.25, which is fantastic. So that is already in process. We'll be looking over the inspection, and we should hopefully that is set to close sometime in September. So another co-living property in Philly, right by Temple University. Very, very hot area. So very excited for that as well. That's going to be a great deal. We'll be looking over the inspection today, making sure there's nothing of major concern. And if there is, then we'll just ask for some credits. Not a big deal. See, the one thing that you have to learn how to do is get under contract. You have your inspection period. You have your due diligence period. And work, and then you just take care of it, right? You spend some money, guys. It takes money to make money. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it doesn't. You could get lucky on a couple of deals, this and that, and work your ass off, and make money, and make thousands of phone calls and maybe get one deal, make 20, 30 grand. But is that something that can be consistent? Is that something that you can do on a daily basis and not get burned out? Probably not. So I see a lot of people make their first check or whatnot, and they like just buy a new car, or they spend it on a vacation, or they, I don't know, buy a motorcycle or whatever it is that they do, and then it's all gone, and then but they forget how hard it was to get that first paycheck. Like, why would you squander it? I get it. Maybe you didn't have any money in the account, and like you saw $30,000 in your account for the very first time in your life. But then just think about how hard it took you to make that money. It was hard. It was hard. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It never gets easier. It gets simpler because you understand it. But the consistency every day, the work ethic, the positive attitude, the energy, it has to be there. If it's not there, then you have nothing. Sometimes you don't feel like working as hard, which I get. I have those days too. But you're also looking for, there's no magic pill or no magic wand where you can wave around and just be super successful, unless you're born into it and you're like a hedge fund baby, or your parents are rich. You gotta build it for yourself and just partner with the right people that are gonna elevate you to the next level. That's why I just recently, purchased tickets for a mastermind at the end of September, which I'm really excited about. And I'm probably going to go to another mastermind in October, a wholesaling mastermind. And I do that because I don't remember everything, I don't retain everything. And you got to brush up on things. So for me to spend a few $1,000s to learn a new skill, to shake a new hand, is worth it for me. Tenfold. I was watching a video with Pace recently, and he was like spending, on this like mastermind that was like a golf membership type mastermind, where it was like $250,000 a year. But he basically hangs out with, the top notch people, like Tony Robbins, for example. And I know he was talking about in his one YouTube videos, he was like, yeah, I was at this mastermind where I spent $250,000 a year on. And Tony Robbins is saying, hey, just write down what kind of goals is it that you need. And he said he wrote something down. I want to raise capital, $25 million for my multifamily deal. The guy next to him said, hey man, I can help you with that. So his $250,000 that he spent on this mastermind all of a sudden now catapulted him to the next level, because the gentleman right next to him, who also paid $250,000 a year to be at that Tony Robbins mastermind, is on another level. Like, these people are billionaires, millionaires, right? So when you're somebody like Pace Morby, you no longer go to $10,000, $15,000 masterminds. You go to $250,000 masterminds. And I wouldn't be surprised if they start pulling up $1 million masterminds where you're rubbing shoulders with billionaires that are, you want to be a part of some sort of bigger mastermind, right? So I think that's where it's coming, is paying for education that school is not giving us. I'm also thinking about my son and what he's learning in school. And then I think about that movie Richie Rich, which was made 20 years ago. And it's so crazy how far and forward that movie was into the future. They were literally telling us how the rich educate their children since from like kindergarten. It's none of these like gen ed classes that you're never going to use. It's things like wealth preservation, tax strategies, venture capitalism, private equity, um, hedge funds, investments, trading, offsetting capital gains, mitigating taxes, real estate, uh, um, everything that you need in life to be uber successful is what these kids are learning. And no one talks about it. They talk about, like, hey, my kid goes to a school 9 out of 10. That school 9 out of 10 to somebody that is wealthy, at school is a 0 out of 10 compared to where that other kid is going to school. Because where that kid is going to school by age 14 or 15, or let's just say by age 16, he can probably run a Fortune 500 company from the education that he obtains, because that's all they learn. Maybe I'm being very optimistic about that, but I would say 18 years old, that kid could come in and take a crumbling company and make it into a very profitable company, because what they're learning is not what our kids are learning. They're on a completely different level, dimension. They're so far ahead, guys. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. The conversations that they're having, the sports that they join, the things that they do, it's all to prepare them for either taking over the family business or building their own massive business. But it's not getting them ready to become an employee, if that makes sense. And so I leave you with that. We are going to have the event today. I'm pretty excited. Gonna kind of take it easy today. I got some things to do, but I gotta prepare for this event. People coming out, excited. So it's in Schaumburg, Illinois today at 6:00 p.m. We'll have snacks, beverages. We'll have good conversations, speed business networking, breakdown of deals, and so forth. So with that being said, guys, if you're not following me, follow me on YouTube, which is just Kreative Mike with a K. Everything I do is with a K. So just always remember it's a K. CreativeLending.com is with a K. CreativeFunds.com is with a K. CreativeMike.com is with a K. All right. So with that, I appreciate everybody here listening, and send me your Morbies I'm buying. GRDCO7, I have one right now in Vegas. It's a hot one. If you want to send me over your email, I'll be more than happy to send it over to you. Just a JRDO7. Just do me a favor, DM me your email on your cell phone, and I'll shoot you my most recent Vegas one. We just got it under contract yesterday. It's a 4-2. It is in Las Vegas, good zip code. There's no HOA, and I believe it's like under 50% down payment or something like that. It's something crazy little. So yeah, definitely. JRDCO7, I'm talking to you on Instagram Live. Shoot me over your email. And here I'm going to post some websites here for you guys as well. CreativeLending.com. Let's see, Creative. Is that working? Yeah. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful Thursday. God bless every one of you. Make sure you be good to your peers. Make sure you appreciate people that love you, people that care about you. Do so good. Have so much integrity that people want to do business with you and talk with you and just overall have a good relationship with you, right? And remember, don't gatekeep. Don't be greedy. It's not worth it. You're not gonna get that far in life if you do that. So, with that being said, thanks a lot, and I hope to see every one of you that registered at our event today. I'm excited. I'm just pretty excited. I like these events now. I get to see my friends. I get to see my partners. We get to talk about deals. We break them down. What's next? What's new? What's new? It's pretty cool. So, thank you. Thank you so much. God bless. As you know, I'm a sub 2 member. Very happy to be one.